Ill Music Entertainment.
Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Study to know what trust is. They'll violate at any moment. Minorities, they don't be on it. Walk on eggshells, keep it cautious. Anxiety, I'm feeling nauseous. Ignorance is bliss till you learn what the cost is. Said Moors, we on the rise. Look at us now. Push the mission forward. Make the prophet proud. Noble Jew Ali, welcome to the city. Fourth generation. No, he walking with me, more shit. Woke up, realized I was on a warship. Trading me like chattel property. Trading places, playing Monopoly. Authentic, can't copy me. Lies, can't rock with me. Truth, never sharpens me. Love, despite you mocking me.
Yeah, so continue off where we left off from. Right? There's two types of statuses everyone's dealing with, and you know, we got to keep in mind, y'all, and I can't cease to reiterate this. We're not dealing with courts, yo. Yo, these venues, they're not courts, yo. They're federal corporations. It's about business, B. When we go into courts, you know, something happens, whatever, you get stopped. Most times you get stopped is because the vehicle is still public property, still state property, because you utilize that social security number and state instruments to register it. All right, so miseducation has caused a lot of issues, bro. But now I feel like we're at a point where we got a pretty good handle, man, because we understand the morality of things now. What's wrong, what's right. This is not right. Even though they say it's legal, yo, it's not right. Morally, this is not right. We're at that. I believe we're there. We're there now, because we can't talk about enforcing rights if we don't have no type of morality. Okay? So once we reestablish or reconnect with our own sense of morality as beings, right? Then we got to look at the business aspects of things, and that's what's happening in these courts. It's all business. Everything is business. The bench is a bank. Yo, the so-called magistrate ain't sitting on no bench. He's sitting on a bank, collecting bank from people in lines all day, one after another. Do you waive your rights? Da. Yes, I waive my rights. Oh my God, why did you just waive your rights? You know what I'm saying? And they do this all day long. So once you waive them, then they give you the penalty or the fee. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, $60. Oh, you know, it's $100. I'm gonna drop it to $50 for you. Oh, thank you, Judge. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're so amazing. You're so kind. You're so merciful. Praise the Lord. It's like, no, man. They playing you. They are playing you. Are you aware that anytime, right, corporations are transacting business, and I'm going to name this particular corporation the court, because that's what it is, a federal corporation. So imagine now, you have a corporation, right? Imagine you have a corporation, and this corporation makes you think that it's a country. So this corporation has you thinking it's a country. So now you're abiding by its rules, policies, like you would as if it's law. Because in your mind, it's not a corporation, it's a country. What I'm telling you is, a corporation can't be a country. A corporation can't be a country. A corporation can't be a state. No, see? Because see, if we start getting into conversations like that, we're going to lose real fast. Because corporations don't run themselves. The corporation don't speak. The corporation don't write letters. The corporation doesn't discharge anything. The corporation doesn't have eyes to see, doesn't have ears to hear. The corporation doesn't have beautiful locks to grow. I can't tell you what the corporation looks like because it doesn't have like facial features or nothing like that. So the courts are a corporation. They got you thinking it's a court, like an actual real court. Like, yo, this is a court. This is a court of law with a judge. Everything is constitutional. So that's what they got everyone thinking. Everyone thinks when they go to so-called court that they're dealing with court. And no, you're not dealing with court. You're dealing with business. If anything, if we want to put it in its proper position, it should be a business court. Where are you going? Oh, I'm going to business court. Why? Because it got something to do with my business. What's your business? Well, my business, according to, let me look at the birth certificate. So the name of my business is called Reginald Jules. So right now the court is claiming that they have business with my business. All right? That's the assumption. The assumption is they have business with my business. Not that they have business with me. See, because once I say that that's me, now I put myself in the position of trustee of my own shit, right? So I essentially walk in to a business meeting and make myself the butler of my own house. Why would I do that? Why would I make myself the butler of my own mansion and then have someone else dictate rules and laws to me or policies to me and call them law in my own house? But see, I'm thinking I'm the butler though. You see how everything switch? So these corporations are dealing with business. This is why everything is based on business, yo. This is why I say, Moors, authenticate that birth certificate. You know why? Because guess what? It stops everyone else from transacting business with your estate. Because now it'll have a annexation number where it's being held under seal, under full faith and credit, and is conducting transactions on a daily basis underneath that number within the Department of State that has been moved to another jurisdiction. But you see, Moors will tell you don't do that though. I don't understand how Moors will tell you not to authenticate your birth certificate, but then Moors will still give you advice on what to do in court. I don't get it. How? How do you say don't authenticate the birth certificate, but then you're still trying to give advice on court issues? When the entire court issue is based off commerce, it's based off business, it's based off that corporation that you still refuse to claim dominion over, that you're still choosing to leave as abandoned. Don't you know anyone who abandons anything is looked at dishonorable? So why do you choose to have society look at you as a dishonorable person? And then in the same breath, you're calling everyone else dishonorable. Not to say you're wrong, but you can't be calling everyone else out on their shit if you own your own shit. You can't say somebody wrong if you wrong. You got to be right. You got to be righteous to point something out to someone that isn't righteous. You yourself have to be righteous. So you can't point out shit to people and you haven't reclaimed your own shit yet. You're not yet in honor, but you want to call everyone else dishonorable. When these very so-called republics are based off the estates of the residents and non-residents. So that means anything and everything that happens within these state republics is based off of the estates of the non-residents and residents. I'm going to say that one more time. Everything that happens in every state republic is based off the estates of the residents and non-residents. What's your estate? If you have a birth certificate that was created for you when you were born, then you have an estate. Have you reclaimed your estate? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if you have. Are you classified in the system as human capital, as human resources? Because if you are, then I tell you, property can't own property. This is why I said in the Census Bureau, I am classified as American Indian and white. Because I am a people. I am the original peoples of this continent, and I also have connections to the original peoples of Europe, Asia, the middle of Africa, North Africa. All that's my family. All that's my family. So we really got to know who we are, man. Man, know thyself. Because, man, if you don't know yourself, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. you're gonna be in for a world of mistreatment by the citizens of the states. And it's not because you're a bad person, it's because you haven't taken care of your business. That's why they always say it's not personal, it's just business. But for some reason, we keep on taking this shit personal. We keep on receiving it as personal, like, yo, this person has a dislike for me in a special way, so they're just choosing to make shit harder for me rather than, you know, more so for me than for anybody else. We got to get out that mindset. We got to get out that mindset. In all honesty, the people that's actually giving you the hardest time is the one rooting for you the most. The one giving you the hardest time is the one rooting for you the most. That's your biggest supporter. That's your biggest energy source of life in what you're trying to do. It don't seem that way. It don't appear that way. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We all need support groups. We all need support systems in place to help us stay along our journey, to stay along our purpose, to stay along our path. It's a lot harder to stay dedicated and focused when it's just you. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. But like I said, if we just tweak our mindset, you see, and it took me a couple years to make this tweak because, like I said, even in my mind, I'm like, yo, we dealing with the courts, yo, the judges. None of these motherfuckers is judges, man. None of them. They're all magistrates. They're all here to do a job. They got an office. They gotta discharge that office, and then they gotta get the fuck on with their lives. That's all that is. All right. So it is what it is, man. And we have to learn to be okay with that. Like, really, it is okay for things to be the way they are. All right. We're coming back into our own. We don't need permission. But what I'm trying to explain to y'all family is that everything that happens in the state is based off your estate. So if you're dealing with court issues, you best believe your birth certificate is included in that motherfucker. Anything dealing with court, you best believe your estate is being included in that. Because that's what the whole case is based off of, your estate. That's what's being charged. They're pressing charges against your estate because you have yet to lock their ass out the system. I just told you, the damn IRS couldn't get into my social. The IRS couldn't get into my social. Xfinity couldn't get into my social. You know, because we wanted to transpire a transaction as far as Wi-Fi goes. Wanted to see what type of deals they had. They couldn't even access it. They're locked out. Everyone is locked out. So what do you think happens to the courts when they're trying to charge my stuff? You think they can? Without having to compensate me for using my private property? Because that straw name belongs to me. The ens legis belongs to me. The straw man and the ens legis, one and the same. Although the true name for these entities is ens legis. Ens legis. Alright? So authenticate your birth certificate, man, because when you come in as the holder in due course, and you're coming into that business meeting, but everyone else around you is going to be thinking that's a court, and they're going to be thinking that dude sitting at the bench is a judge, when really that dude sitting at the bank is a fucking bank teller. Yeah, a bank teller. That's the bank teller. That's what the magistrate is in that room, in that business meeting. He's a bank teller. You know who holds the weight in that room? In that business meeting? You know who's the chairman? Or the what do they call that? Yeah, the chair. The one who's running the whole meeting. You know who's running that meeting? The clerk. Who do you got to give all your paperwork to? The clerk. Who's giving the judge the paperwork? Who's the judge passing paperwork back and forth throughout the dissertation of a so-called case? The clerk. I'm just bringing things into your awareness now that you might not have been aware of. There are no courts, y'all. These are all administrative venues. It's all about business. So if you don't have your business in order, you're gonna get raped. It don't matter if your name is El Bede, Al Ali, Smith, Jones, Johnson, whatever. You're gonna get raped. Because although you may be in your proper person privately, when it comes to the commercial world, you're still incompetent. And that's how they treat you in the court. Because the court got everything to do with business. It has nothing to do with nationality and character. and morality. It has everything to do with business. And if you don't have good business ethics, then automatically you ain't going to have proper, a proper way of how to conduct yourself as a national. You're not. You're going to go in there and be belligerent. You're going to go in there and be obnoxious. You're going to be yelling at everyone. You ain't got no jurisdiction. Everything's going to be confrontational. Nigga say zig, you're going to say zag. Nigga say lever, you're going to say lever. Nigga say tomato, you're going to say tomato. And it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is what this is what the sovereign citizen thing has created. This is the whole image that has been created. When in all actuality, if you know what's happening and you're in your proper state of mind, privately and publicly, you ain't got to say shit when you get to court. There ain't nothing for you to say. Nothing. But see, we want to say, hey, don't do that. Don't authenticate. Don't authenticate. It's all fraud. All right, the court. You're right. It's fraud. That means the court is fraud. When people get kidnapped, right? See, and this is the shit that I can't entertain anymore. See, because when someone gets kidnapped, that shit is happening for real. It's not like, oh, this person got kidnapped and it's fraud, so the fraud's gonna play out for a little bit of time, and then we'll see him. No, in that moment, that person's actually being taken against their will. It's real. It's really happening. Okay? So in that moment where it's really happening, are you going to say to someone, put it like this, are you going to say to someone that just got pulled out their car, right? Their shit got towed, they got cuffs placed on them, they've been tased, they've been beaten and battered. You're going to tell them now, after all that shit transpired, that the whole shit is fraud? They're not allowed to do what they're doing to you, but it happened anyway though. So what are you going to say now? It's not real? What happened didn't happen because they're fraud? So now I shouldn't authenticate my birth certificate to stop these motherfuckers from transacting business on my estate, which bleeds them into possibly violating my body, like my physical body, which will in effect have effect on my spiritual mind. So you're telling me to not do that because it's fraud, but then allow the fraud to happen, even though when the fraud takes place, it's real for me? Because I'm actually being taken against my will, or maybe someone that I hold dear is being taken against their will, or my property is being taken. See, so when things happen to us, it really happening, y'all. It's really happening. It's not like make believe. So I'm tired of hearing Morris talk about, when you do that process, oh, now you've bought in with the fraud. Are you fucking crazy, man? And I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful at all. Please forgive me for that. But like, come on, dude. Come on, sister. Are you serious? When you got a Moor that's been locked up in a cage for over 7 months for traveling, meaning nobody got hurt, nobody got injured. It was just traveling, exercising their constitutional right with impunity, and they're locked up in a cell. There's nothing fraudulent about that. That's very real. That person is in a cage for real. Their freedom has been taken for real. So when I say authenticate the birth certificate, it's because I don't want these so-called fraudulent things to really happen to you. Because when you go to court and then you lose in court, that shit really happened. So when they say, yo, here's the fine, pay it, you really got to pay that motherfucker. They're not playing make-believe. So we can say all day long the system is fraudulent, oh, it's a democracy. But guess what? Real shit is happening though. So that means we have to do some real things to counteract that, to stop it from happening. Not to try to set up a game plan to know what to do when it happens. When we get kidnapped, this is what we do. No, man. We need to set up shop in a way where kidnapping is no longer happening. Kidnapping is no longer happening. And that is only going to happen when you reclaim your estate. You start operating properly through your trust. Because everything is business, man. Everything is business, man. So you got to be a businessman. It's really that simple. Everything is a business, so you got to be a business. And that's how that works. That's how that works. It works just like that. All right, fam? So with that, I bid you adieu. Peace.
Music Entertainment.
justice. Study to know what trust is they'll violate at any moment. Minorities, they don't be on it. Walk on eggshells, keep it cautious, anxiety. I'm feeling nauseous, ignorance is bliss, till you learn what the cost is. Said Moors, we on the rise. Look at us now, push the mission forward, make the prophet proud. Noble Jew Ali, welcome to the city. 4th generation, know he walking with me. More shit. Woke up, realized I was on a war ship. Trading me like chattel property, trading places, playing Monopoly. Authentic, can't copy me. Lies, can't rock with me. Truth, ever sharpens me. Love, despite you mocking me.